The gang is an expression of a unified being or oneness. It represents harmony in a number of ways. In the actual energy that it creates, a self-perpetuating vibration which produces an undifferentiated and complex dissonance. Attention everybody, Mo has completed 1,000 hours of
That's it. I'm done. 1,000 hours complete. Aveda Institute New York. I did it. This process has been such a blessing. I just can't wait to see what's next for me. And you're probably asking the same thing. What's next? What's up with an appointment, Mo? I'm working on all of those things now, just trying to get all the pieces in place, all of the logistics. Most immediately, we'll be doing the licensing test through the state of New York. And just getting everything in order. Be patient, give me a little time, let me collect myself. The process of going to school, beauty school full time, was completely different than any other education process I have experienced. It's cohort style. And if you're not familiar with that word and what it means you stay in the same class with the same people throughout an entire education process. Lots of technical programs are formatted that way. So from October to May, my classmates stayed the same. And we were spending 40 hours a week together, which is a lot of time to spend with the same people. So you can imagine having some days where you're just over it, you're over the people, you're over the process, but you have to just stay motivated to keep moving forward, keep doing the work, keep clocking those hours. Some of the cooler things about my experience at Aveda, really the color system. I think that for me was my only real learning hurdle. For those of you who are familiar with color systems, you know that usually you have a level of color with a tone in it, and then you add it to a developer, and boom, you get the color. With Aveda's color system, everything is customized. So you get a base level of brown, and then you have to put pigment in it to make it something else. You have to add red, you have to add red orange, you have to add yellow orange, you have to add blue green, you have to add whatever pigments are necessary to create the color you want. That's when you get into a lot of extensive color theory. Like, you really have to understand natural remaining pigments. You have to understand the color wheel. You have to understand how light is reflected through the prism. Like, it's just a big eye opener to me about color theory. So I feel like what I understood about color was enhanced by using a color system that is what I consider dramatically more difficult to use than other color systems that are out in the world. I feel like Aveda goes above and beyond to do lots of hair cutting. Instead of just learning exactly what you need to know for state board, Aveda teaches you a plethora of other types of haircuts, things that become the foundation for doing anything. I personally love cutting. The cool thing about being able to see so many of you is learning about, which curl patterns look better with which types of cuts. A lot of times people would come in to me and say, my hair just won't style, it won't do anything. And then I look at it and immediately I know it's the shape. It was nice to be able to work with hair types that were not like mine. I feel like it definitely makes you a more well-rounded stylist when you can do anybody's hair, from, someone who is of Chinese descent, someone who is of Indian descent, someone who is of European descent. It makes you a better stylist when you can take anybody's head of hair and make it great. And, I feel like I can do that. I could have never told you 5 years ago that I would be sitting where I am right now doing what I wanted to do my entire life. For me, cosmetology was like a dream deferred. It was something that had always been in my mind as something I wanted to do. I've always naturally been able to do hair. It's a skill set. I don't even know where it came from. It's just something I've always been good at, even all the way back to when I was a little kid, doing hair for my dolls. To be here now after taking a really big detour is pretty amazing. Just to give you a little background, I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. I went to Kansas City, Missouri public schools, K through 12. Elementary school was a Latin grammar school, Pinkerton Elementary. Middle school was King Middle, which is also, or was also, a Latin grammar school. So I definitely could speak a little Latin back in the day. Don't use it, you lose it. It's kind of gone now, so don't ask me. And then for high school, I went to Paseo Academy of the Fine and Performing Arts, where I majored in instrumental music. I played the flute and minored in vocal music. And then after I graduated from high school, I graduated a year early. I did 3 years in high school. I went to University of Missouri in Columbia, go Tigers. I majored in business and got a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration with an emphasis in marketing. Throughout my 4 years in undergrad, I interned with Inroads. For those of you who are not familiar with that organization, they place students of color that go to four-year schools and universities into corporate internships. I did my last one with General Electric. When I graduated from undergrad, General Electric hired me full-time. After spending 3 years in that job, I really just wanted to do something different. I didn't feel as fulfilled as I thought I would. So I switched gears and went to higher ed. And that's when I started working for the community college system in Kansas City, Metropolitan Community College. I worked in the marketing department, and it was a great opportunity to grow my skill set and to help the community around me. After being in that job for 9 years, I quit in May of 2015 and moved to New York because I started the blog in the fall of 2013, and I spent that end of that year, 2014, and the top of 2015 growing MoKnowsHair. So I was working full time and doing the blog. If I'm going to continue to grow, I'm going to have to step out on faith and move to where there's more opportunity to do the kinds of things I want to do. Not knowing what those things would be, you know, sometimes you're waiting on God, but really God is waiting on you. And that's how I felt at the time. While my job is great, there's still something else I want. I need to acknowledge that. So I very diligently saved money. Like, I didn't just pop up in New York, y'all. Don't get no bright ideas and start quitting your jobs and showing up places without your stuff in order. As soon as I got here, so many things just started happening so fast. And that is what made me really know that stepping out on faith the way I did was the right decision, because, you know, a couple months after being here, I'm going on the Wendy Williams show with Dark and Lovely and Amla. And then Aveda shows up and is like, hey girl, how would you like to go to cosmetology school? And I was like, I could have never in a million years thought to pray for something like that. You know, that's the wonderful thing about God, is that He will give you things that are so much bigger and greater than what your little mind could ever come up with. What I do know to be true is whenever you command order in your own space, meaning you do things with good intentions, you do things the right way, you try your best, you maintain a high level of integrity with everything you do, God will open doors for you. You don't have to bam on the door and break it down. It will come to you. And this whole experience with MoKnowsHair has really shown me that God will do it. Really, that it's already done. And that's what faith is anyway, right? Faith is not knowing what God can do. Faith is knowing what God has already done. Somebody hears me. Come with me, saints. Now it's just time to just keep pushing forward. I don't know what opportunities are going to be available to me, but I know that I don't just want something, I want everything. And that's what you should want for yourself. There's so many wonderful opportunities in the world to do the things you love and have positive impact on others. And if you have a gift that could be of good to the world and you're holding it hostage, I just encourage you to really open up and find ways to chase that dream down. It doesn't matter how long it's been, because look at me. I went how many years? 15 or more years doing things that had nothing to do with my true passion, but the thing is, even if you start going on a certain path, whatever God has for you, he'll reroute you. He will get you in the direction he wants you to go. But at some point, you do have to step out on faith. You have to put in your work, and you have to be very diligent about what you say it is that you want. I hope that following this journey with me has encouraged somebody, anybody, to take more control of your life and do the things you want to do. And that doesn't mean that you have to jump up and quit your job and you know, be self-employed. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that if there's something that's lying in your heart, something that may be dormant or just slightly starting to shake, to release it and let it be good to the world. I will still continue to make videos and help you all with product reviews, letting you know what's out here and what those things do, styling methods, care tips. I definitely have a long laundry list of topics for hair care that I still need to address. While I was in school, it was just incredibly hard to do videos rapidly, just because I would be so doggone exhausted. When you stand all day for hours on end and deal with the train commutes in New York to and fro during rush hour, I would get home and sometimes just have to stare at the wall for a minute, y'all. Seriously. I do want you all to know that I am very grateful and very humbled by all of your kind words, by all of your encouragement, all of your prayers. I truly appreciate it. Reading those comments for me kept me uplifted and kept me motivated. And, you know, in days where I felt a little run down or a little tired, I'd see something from one of you all and immediately feel better. I will eternally be grateful for all of you walking this journey with me. I am very thankful for the wonderful people at Aveda for everything they've done for me in this process, to all of my instructors at Aveda, to all of my classmates, to all of the other students at the Institute, the administration and staff, the great people that do the booking services and the retail, like all of y'all. Thank you for everything during this process. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. You know, just look for me on the internet. I'll be around. So until next time.